Hey there, Riverica here, reporting for duty on a trigger. Thank you so much for shuffling states of emergency into adoption spirit magic with me and steering clear of danger. Heartily, we are grateful. In this session, we are exploring what Pluto moving into Aquarius has to tell us, and this happens on the 23rd of March. But before that, some disclaimers. I am not a doctor, lawyer, therapist. I'm a fortune teller, so what I share is no substitute for their services. Furthermore, what I share does not determine your future. Only your intentions and actions do. So please use your gift of discernment before deciding what to gather and take away. And of course, take only what resonates and blow like a kiss the rest to the universe for cosmic composting back into beauty. And this reading is intended for fun and games, for shits and giggles, entertainment, flexing our heart, mind, body, soul, spirit, emotions, and intuition. And at the least, I hope to cause harm to none, and at the most, I hope I may assist you on your healing journey. So all that being said, let me share our helpers. And I have lit candles for Source, Mother Earth, Father Sky, the homeless, those that kick them out of their homes, the neighbors, the passers-by, even those working against our spiritual progression. Also, harmony, unity, and balance, Archangel Michael, our ancestors here in the highest love and light, and those who have crossed over to Father Sky by suicide and the family and friends they left behind on Mother Earth, as well as the war-torn families, countries, nations, worlds, galaxies, universes. And we thank Source for helping us all adopt success, transmuting these violent cycles into love. Heartily, we are grateful. And we also have my mini crystal ball, my wooden dice, wooden wand, wooden dagger wand, to all that wood to help us buoy our spirits, and the wand and the dagger to help cut through to the heart of the matter without harming a soul. We also have the world map and the Kali Oracle by Alana Fairchild and illustrated by Jimmy Manton and published by Blue Angel Publishing. And we have some fluorite, some yummy, yummy fluorite. So I invite you to check out fluorite, the properties of this rainbow fluorite on your own to see what resonates with you. Check 4 or 5 or 6 or 27 different resources, because you know we're all different psychosocial science experiments, and what resonates for you may be different than me, and we want to be sure that this reading is relevant for you. And so I invite you to explore more on your own the healing properties or metaphysical properties of items such as these beautiful crystals, this rainbow fluorite. So off the top of my head, I would say this is helping with your having a strong spine, protected, working with your skeletal system. I know that was more than one thing. So now let us clear the space together, clearing all the hate, violence, intolerance, unwelcomes, interference, obstructions, anything not here in the highest love and light, and streaming grace into replace. And thank you for holding the intention of seeing only love, and only love we shall see. Thank you so much. So Pluto moving into Aquarius on the 23rd of March. Is it 0 degrees or 1 degree? Quadruple check me, but it's a big new beginning. So I invite you to explore more of that on your own. What Pluto means, what Aquarius means. You know, we just came into the age of Aquarius. Well, we're coming in. Learning more how to work together and help each other in the highest love and light, so all can adopt success, not just the few who manage to look and act a certain way. Thank you so much for helping dismantle the old earth and rebuild the new earth. Heartily, we are grateful. Dismantling those adoption fairy tales and the gypsy myths and the other. There's so much that's happening, that's being dismantled and being rebuilt. I can't just say it's two things, right? And so many of you are a part of it in different ways, a part of all the different across fields. Let's put it that way. It's happening, that dismantling and rebuilding. So before we jump into shuffling and doing the read, let's talk about this number 4. And that number 4 always reminds me of the chair, like 4 feet on the floor. It's solid, it's grounded. And that number 4 really helps us get stable and achieve a balance, like sitting in a chair does at times. And this number 4 can ground and stabilize us, especially if others are playing on us energetically, emotionally, physically, spiritually, which happens often to orphans and adoptees, as adoption is often a prescription more for the adopter to overcome loss. And so that number 4 can help in those situations where the parents may be pulling on the children emotionally, spiritually, physically, or vice versa, right? This isn't just all about the orphans and adoptees, correct? Other people can relate in different ways, and I don't want to negate that. But I do also want to have a space for adoptees and orphans, and that is a large part of this channel, and being able to talk about that without being shut down or diminished or degraded. And so I'm hoping I'm offering that space for you. And thank you for being here. Let's jump into the reading. Seeing what Pluto has to share with us as it moves into Aquarius. And you are a whole, full, loving, powerful, spiritual being, as well as me. And we thank your source and spirit team, angels, galaxy guides, ancestors, saints, sages, gods, goddesses, universes here in the highest love and light, as well as mine. And we thank your source and my source for immediately shifting the situation into what it needs to be, offering necessary healings, insights, acts of grace, protection. And heartily, we are grateful. So it is, so it was, so it was, so it was. Thank you. Thank you for making this abundantly clear about what may help us move forward in the highest love and light as Pluto moves into Aquarius. Heartily, we are grateful. And Kali is one of the goddesses of the Romany. But if you come across Kali on your healing path and you're not Romany, and you're in need of help, and you ask her for help, she's there for you. So that is super special. And I also invite you to explore your own culture and what goddesses gods and goddesses resonate with you in your own culture and that may support you on your healing journey to help you be a part of your spiritual team, help you move forward in the highest love and light, help you play through the losses and traumas that's part of life, right? We're here. We don't want to sweep it under the carpet. We want to be able to face it, learn from it, grow, move forward in the highest love and light instead of falling into victim mode. And here we are. On the bottom, we have Dharma of Kali. What a beautiful representation. And what fell out is Kali Mahamaya. Kali Mahamaya. Wow. That's on fire. What a beautiful representation as well. So that number 4, that's awesome. I love that. The number 4 showing up again. So that's super relevant. I invite you to explore more of that number 4, different sources, and see what resonates with you. It's also making me think 4 months, 4 years, 4 weeks, 4 days. Maybe one of those is jumping out at you. That may help you move forward, minding your business in the highest love and light. So Kali, this Kali oracle, there's 4 different sections: an introduction, a substantial middle, an invocation ritual, and a conclusion. So I invite you to settle in as I move forward with this reading, and here we go. Kali Mahamaya is Kali Ma, the spiritual truth beneath all appearances, the healing waiting to be discovered in all experiences. In harmony with your higher self, she manifests the path upon which you can best learn, heal, and grow. She is unclothed, symbolizing wild, unconditioned authenticity. She is the empowerment to discard conditioning and judgments that we have worn. Cast off the fearful constraints others have imposed upon you. Connecting to your authentic being will attract healing, guidance, and divine grace to you now. That's so beautiful. And it's reminding me that spiritual truth that came up showed in an earlier reading this week. Let's see which one it was. I do believe it was Venus conjunct the North Node in Taurus. No, it was the reading of the new moon in Aries sextiling Pluto. Brings up that truth. So you may enjoy going to that reading earlier this week about Pluto sextiling the new moon, and that may add to your toolkit, so to speak. So the next section, I invite you to settle in as I continue to read. Kali Mahamaya knows the life circumstances that will best evoke your sacred fulfillment. From gentle blessings to heart-stretching challenges that bring out courage and confidence you never knew you had, she weaves the circumstances into being that will cause you to grow, awaken, and fulfill your divine potential. Through her carefully chosen life lessons, the heart becomes spiritually prepared to dispense with mainstream consciousness. The soul begins to move away from the limitations and absence of personal responsibility that accompanies mass conditioning. The inner spiritual eye flutters open and new realities open up. Her appearance signifies that mass consciousness and mainstream interpretations of events cannot support your soul path. It is only through looking for the deeper spiritual purpose within a life lesson that you will cut through the confusion to obtain clarity and attract all you need to heal and transform the situation at hand. Listen to your heart rather than allowing conventional beliefs to create fear in your mind. Kali Mahamaya arises spontaneously as a protective bearer of universal truth when a situation has become unnecessarily complicated or confusing to your heart. The truth she awakens may provide immediate relief, or it may not be easy to accept at first. Either way, you are promised revelations that shall ultimately lead you beyond deception or beyond what is simply not right for you. She protects you from that which is unworthy of your heart and has constrained your spirit. Even though Kali recognizes it is going to create a disconnection from the authentic needs and inner purpose of the soul, if we are on a path that merely seems promising on the surface, she evokes the situations to devastate the established order. Thus, she realigns us to the better path. This is her act of radical love, to unfetter our minds and clear our perception. With the correct knowledge, we gain the capacity to proceed with wisdom. She will not allow you to be misled. If you have wandered from your path, she will firmly reestablish you on the way to best help, heal, empower, and liberate you with joy. So, when our plans suddenly seem thwarted, we need to ask whether we require more courage and growth to rise above the obstacle. Alternatively, we may need to step away from our initial plans and be open to a different path. We can discern authentic spiritual guidance from its effect. It brings a sense of relief, even when the path ahead seems challenging. Acting on true guidance causes us to grow, even when it opens a gentler and more graceful path. Misinterpreting guidance reinforces our ego patterns and keeps us stuck. Misinterpreting guidance reinforces our ego patterns and keeps us stuck. Kali Mahamaya exists and operates beyond convention and convenience. She is the inoculating tonic of authenticity. Authenticity keeps us dialed into our true purpose and passion. She protects the soul from conventionality that castrates, disables, and steals our creative fire. She is the divine disruption that provides needed, yet often unanticipated, spiritual recalibration. When our minds are so confused that we do not even sense the troubles that threaten to consume us, she arises from the ocean of consciousness with compassionate ferocity. When we stray from our authentic nature, she brings us back to the spiritual home of the heart. She reminds us that we are the most powerful and protected when we seek the truth of the heart, because that is when we are closest to her. Dispense with the need to placate others or control situations. She has arisen and can be trusted unconditionally. Take refuge in her and allow your life to unfold as it will, acting when you feel guided to, having patience in the unfolding events and trusting that her grace is unlimited. She is watching over the deep healing that is taking place within your soul. Thank you, Kali Ma. That is so beautiful and so intense. And as I was reading it, I was thinking of all the orphans and adoptees that have been dismantling the adoption fairy tales, and the Romany who have been dismantling the gypsy myths, and that's been such challenging work, heart-wrenching work, At times there's been such confusion, for example, with the adoptees who were raised being told this was for the best. It wasn't just that they were told by perhaps their parents, but from the whole community, from people in positions of power, from their doctors to their teachers to their church leaders, and then discovering that, wow, adoption's not for the best, it's just different. And in fact, trigger warning, you may want to fast forward for the next couple seconds if you're feeling super sensitive. In fact, adoptees are 4 times more likely to suicide than non-adoptees. Grossly misperceived and mistreated as addict, ADHD, ADD, bipolar, criminal, developmentally delayed, quote unquote evil, freak, rude, ungrateful, the list goes on. And Romany are 7 times more likely to suicide for those holocaustic trickle-down effects, right? Some of the thinking behind the Holocaust and using Romany as a test run on the final solution was a judge and a shrink putting forth some theories that Romany were incurably mentally ill and therefore not even in possession of life worth living. So they fast forward to when World War II was happening. The powers that be thought, oh, well then the Romany, if that's true, then there'll be a perfect test run for the final solution. And how that plays out today, and how many people from Romany to the lowercase g gypsy to the adoptee to the orphan are misperceived and mistreated as shades of mental illness that I mentioned a little earlier. And so overcoming that, this Kali Mahamaya is helping us heal through that and see it for what it is and take refuge in her, because the work is so challenging and so heart-wrenching in some instances. Causing some of us to cut ties and walk away, even though that seems to mimic the initial abandonment that we received. And how to do that with ease, with grace, with wisdom. And sometimes we're not so successful. We have to recover afterwards. And so Kali Mahakali is here to help. Kali Mahamaya is here to help us through that. And that is so appreciated. And I'm sending you hugs and love and light and just thanking you so much for being so strong and doing the work that you're doing and honoring yourself and taking such sweet care of yourself and helping rebuild a new earth. Thank you so much. So now there's an invocation ritual, and you can say the following prayer, and maybe you go back, rewind this, and say it 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 different times to help it integrate and activate. So here we go. Invocation ritual. Say the following prayer. Beloved Kali Mahamaya, you create the pathways for spiritual growth that benefit the soul. I honor your unconditional, wild, and loving nature. You provide what is needed to truly heal and outgrow suffering. May your compassionate wisdom and divine protection bless all hearts with the capacity to recognize and act with wisdom. I open myself to receive your guidance and revelation, and I give myself time and patience to integrate, regroup, and adjust my course. I trust in the greater guiding wisdom of your play in my life, for the spiritual benefit of all beings. Jai Ma Kali. And now wrapping up, just a little more visualization before the conclusion. You can now visualize, imagine, or intend that a heavy pink lotus flower rests within the palm of each hand. You may sense and feel the weight of these flowers in your hands. Perhaps their muddy, damp roots are uncoiled and hanging heavily between your fingers. The lotus in your right hand represents your divinely given power to act. The lotus in your left hand represents the divine grace needed to make those actions the best and most beautiful possible. Slowly guide your hands together, visualizing, imagining, or intending that these two lotuses intermingle and become one, held gently before your heart. This new lotus then dissolves into radiant golden light and floods into your heart with the blessings of the Divine Mother. Rest for a moment in this golden grace. Then bring your hands together in prayer, bowing your head. You have completed your ritual healing process. Thank you so much, Kali Mahamaya and Source and Pluto moving into Aquarius, for reminding us why we're here and how to move forward in the highest love and light. And this process that some of us has been going through for a couple years, for a decade, 2 decades, 3 decades, lifetimes. Thank you for helping us through it and helping us have patience and integrating and regrouping and adjusting, navigating that. We are so grateful. And that is all I am seeing for you in this reading. Thank you so much. If this resonated with you, you may also enjoy Tuesday night coaching. It's called Chachabusin, which means true friend in Romany Chib, and we spend half an hour from 8 to 8:30 Eastern Time on Zoom, helping each other play our cards in the highest love and light. What's working, what's not working, what may improve the play, things of that nature. And it's a beautiful time to just meet up with others who have committed to their healing path and to playing their cards and to flipping the card when it needs to be flipped, to keep moving forward in the highest love and light, right? And also, I have 2 online courses you may appreciate. Reclaim Your Game, which dives deeper into that, how to play your cards. And then Adoptive Parent College 101. And that's not just for adoptive parents, it's for anyone considering collaborating with orphans and adoptees, from individuals at the fire station, ER, the doctor, the nurse, the teacher, the lawyer, the politician, the coach, the friend, the parent, anybody wanting to help the orphans and adoptees adopt success, transmuting their violent cycles into love, and wanting to do the same thing for themselves may appreciate that course or both courses and the coaching. So if it resonates, that's there for you. You can find it on the About page or in the description of this video. And thank you so much for helping breathe life into adoption spirit magic with me. Heartily, we are grateful. Until next time, ciao for now. I love you all.